Then looking at the title, we have with you and for you, right? The roles of student support units. From the first line you get there, with you and for you, it means we are all together, right? You can't talk about one without implicating the other. Invariably, your problems should be our problems, right? And your success should be our success. So let's go to the summary. Are you all there? Yes. Summary, please. Okay. Can you read what you have there so I'll explain? I can't hear you, please. Okay. Can you see it from there? Okay, let me hear.
Those difficulties develop as a result of the variety of circumstances, including financial, mental, academic, and health-related, and even emotional concerns. Thus, this paper addresses the establishment of the student support service by giving students essential assistance to achieve their academic goals, while also improving their mental, emotional, and intellectual well-being.
Okay. Let's use Summit University as a case study. You realize that we all come from different homes. Some of us are from school, are having their programs through scholarship, right? Some are self-sustained, right? And you have your parents sponsoring you. Now let me use an example of what is happening at the moment. I want to believe that 90% of us are not happy as we sit, right? If the school decides to organize something now, would you be at your best delivering while the VC is seated? Would you be at your best? You won't, right? When the result comes out and we decide to use this result in fostering maybe jobs or careers, do you think that would be the best you can give us? So now this is trying to say the support program is to see what we can do in helping your mental, academic, health-related, and even emotional concerns. Sometimes during examination conditions, some of you are going through emotional trauma. Some might even be ill. Some might have finance issues, maybe running from the bursary to examination hall, trying to sort your, what's it called? Your clearance. So at that moment, you might have issues. Even aside exams, there are times that you might have things bothering you. You don't have who to meet. At the, what do we have? At the way Dr. Sambe heads, we have a male head there, right? Just one person. For student affairs, we have just a person. But for this student support, we have varieties of what? Several other persons to come to fore and making sure that what? You achieve your limelight by catering for all the problems or whatever inhibitions you have. Now look at this introduction. Student support services are resources and assistance provided to students in order to improve their academic and personal growth. That was what I explained earlier. Then the services are available to students in a variety of areas, including academics, career, mental, and physical health. Now, it might be, I've seen a situation where students come, very brilliant students, intelligent, but the problem is how to write, how to communicate will be the problem. And you begin to wonder, what is the problem? The students might not even be able to identify what the problem is. The person might even have tutorials, anchoring programs, and the likes, but put it to writing, there will be a problem because they can't communicate very well. So in these instances, we have the program, the unit to come. For instance, if you come to the unit, we have other lecturers from different departments. You might be in post science, you might decide to tell you, okay, go here, this is where this person fits. Let's see what we can do. That is from your inception as a student of Summit University. Now, the question you ask me is, if you're talking about physical health, personal concerns, academics, career, and the likes, what is the function of student affairs? When you come to the school, student affairs takes care of what happens within the school. And you also ask another question, you're about graduating. What business do you have with this? Well, after graduation, I don't want to mention universities. I make bold to say there are universities that immediately their students get done, 60% of them are fixed already. They get jobs. And the question you ask me is, why are you an exception? Why can't you also have such luxuries? So we then move to what's the goals. That should be the third one. What do we stand to achieve? The student support units. One, providing students with career assistance and counseling services, thereby developing and achieving their realistic goals that I had explained earlier. Then giving students advice on personal concerns, emotional, physical health, and financial matters. It doesn't mean that if you're having financial problems, you come to us and say, okay, we'll have your school fees paid, you know. But at least there are things to put you for. Who do we meet? Are we to call your parents? Are we to call your guardian? Are we to call your sponsors? Let's see how we can come about this. Even talking about finance, it's not just about school fees. There are times you won't pay your school fees. And what do you eat becomes a problem. That's why we have issues of theft and the likes. And the issue of theft, we have it every day. What you start with is there's that possibility you continue with that. Your workspace, there might be issues of theft too. So if you're trying to groom, it should be all encompassing. Let's look at all sides. You see some students coming and acting erratically, and you begin to ask questions. What is the problem? The issue of what just happened recently. You see some people, we say, oh, we saw some people who like this is what I keep seeing every time, twerking and twerking and twerking. Some students don't even do it at all. At all. But that particular day, everybody wanted to exercise franchise like we wanted to, we just want to do it. Why? Because there's some exposures they weren't having from the initial stage. But you know the thing with students, we literally give them a yard. They take what? A mile, right? Is that not how you could say it? So how do we groom you? How do we tell you, okay, this is the level at which you can go? Don't go beyond borders. Like the VC said today that you crossed what? The red line. So how do you know, okay, this is the red line? I want to believe as at what happened till 10 o'clock, you felt you were still on the green light, right? What happened afterwards was the red. But were you so sure you had crossed the red line? You weren't so sure till the chips got down, yes or yes? So our job is to tell you, okay, this is how far you can go. This is what you can do. And it's not just a one-man thing. It's not what a one-man thing. All lecturers are what all encompassing. I'm just here as a head to tell you what is it. And considering that it is a new office, you have this here. Our job is now, okay, harness this, bring them together. Let's see the bits and pieces. Let's see how we can help you. Let's see how we can dot your I's and cross your T's. So if it's about your dressing, when I mean dressing, I'm not talking about what Mrs. Mohammed talked about. I mean your public dressing. How do people see you online? Somebody said something, a woman, I think she said, whatever it is you have on the online platform, you should sieve out what is not a man. You should sieve out what is not good and leave what is good. That's what we call what online dressing. The VC was giving us an explanation, an example. One time we had a meeting. He said a girl got a job. I think she said something like fuck shit or fuck you, something like that. She called someone's bluff online. And the job she got was a very big one. You understand? So in the bid of clicking on her name, they saw that she was on Twitter, I think. She just made that comment and she lost everything. So I would really advise that we should have a very good online dressing. How do you pimp yourself? You understand? And sometimes I see students, I tell them, we all have our dirty linen, we don't dry out publicly, but even as much as I don't have that, I don't care attitude, that it's my life, whatever it is I want to do. These things end up coming back in ways we don't expect. So for that, please, I would implore that for this student employability, how looking at yourself with what you have online, are you a candidate that can be employed? Deep down, I'm not asking you, just a rhetorical statement. Are you sure that what you have on public space, you're very sure that if somebody clicks, even here in Summit, when you have interviews face to face, when you leave, they will still check. People will check online because giving you the job, you are representing where you work. Whatever it is you do still rubs off, still boils back to what happened when we were saying, okay, is the VC getting extremely angry? Is it going beyond borders? When you post something on Instagram, it's a face of Summit University. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. People will definitely save. You put hard things on snaps, and you have people with such contacts. You understand? It's still what? A public sphere. If it had been, how would they have got to a level that it had generated to? because you people now, as far as you're concerned, and you're Summit University student, whatever it is you do carries the name. Do you understand? So please, let's look at that. Then academic grades of students. I've seen situations where we have very bright students, but immediately they start, they begin to have 1 point something, 1 point something, and you won't know where that student is getting it from. And immediately you begin to see 4 points. Then rumors start flying around. Could the person be doing some things? Could the person, you understand? And some people might still even be on that 1 point till they graduate. Somebody also said something that sometimes, even if you're a first class product, that was yesterday, that it's not all about your, it's really, for me, it matters. It matters, but I know the angle at which the person is coming from, that there's more to it than your academic performances. So, but nonetheless, this academic group could come. Okay, what is really the problem? And what other mistake people make is you believe every course is a 4-year program. That's the minimal period. You have an extension to 6, not by carryover and not by what have you. Most of you, some of you might have the opportunity to study abroad, and you expect that, okay, within a year. You will notice that when you go outside the country, they might tell you you have 2 years to yourself, and you still want to work with the minimum of 1 year. Sometimes those things affect. So know your boundaries, meet people so they can tell you, okay, this is where you fit, this is what you can do, and that is what we are for. So we'll also work with our office. She might give us opportunities, grant opportunities. Dr. Nura Akinlabitu spoke with you people yesterday, right? She's on advancement, she's advancement bureau. Yes, she'll also give us opportunities. So when we harvest your CVs, we know, okay, this is where you best. So it's talking about CVs, whatever it is you do, if it is sewing, if it is cake, baking, whatever it is, just let us see. So that we know what to push. So you can do this. Let's see how we can support. Because even here, I graduated from Alikma University. Alikma still sends letters to Summit University asking for review of my performance. At least we've received that twice. Here, we would also do that when you're elsewhere, and we'll be glad that, okay, we've supported you in one way or the other. Am I communicating? Then student motivation, creativity, and innovation in exhibitions, projects, and competition. It's pathetic that this is saying, I don't know that he's not going to do the exhibition anymore. If that exhibition had happened, then we'll be able to say, okay, how well can we motivate you? Even at PhD level, NUCC gives award for best projects, and it's actually very huge. So it's now left for us to say, okay, this project, this exhibition, this person really did well. Let's see how we can, you understand, fix it and send, and let's see what we can get from there. Then talking about the last part, I would want to say, because I don't know if I have captured that, but let me come here on the conclusion. Student support service section will be useful and necessary for student development and academic advancement. Students' academic achievement, employability, creativity, and personal well-being will benefit from the services and resources made available to them. Those beneficial effects will be realized because students will receive help and guidance in areas that would ordinarily impede their studies. I want to believe that if there was a student support service, maybe what had happened the other time wouldn't have happened. You understand? Actually, also, okay, do it to this level, or the onus will be on us. Yes or yes? We will be able to say, okay, sir, this was the level we could go. This was what we said we should do. And in fact, it should not get to a level that. So on this, for the graduating students, because this runs from 100 level to 400, then after graduation. But I want to believe if all things go well, you are done. As I say, if all things go well, you are done, right? So what we want from you now is, I don't know if I'm going beyond borders, because the reason I brought this, we have 2 reasons for bringing this to fore. It's just to create an awareness that there is an office, student support service, 1. Then secondly, we would like to harvest your CVs. As I said, I don't know if I'm shooting beyond normal, because I could remember the VC said it yesterday, that he was, or 2 days ago, right? That he's not going to receive. But let's see what we can do. So please, I would love you to fix in what Mr. Salau presented yesterday and what Mr. Sholola presented yesterday. Try and bring up a cover letter. Then prepare your CV. Are you getting me? Please, before you leave. I don't know how many days I'm to peg that. What do you think? How many days should we peg that? People are looking at me like empty bag of Gary. How many days? 2 weeks. Okay, I can see how unserious you have become. But if you know you can't work within 2 days. We are not forcing you. That's your business. No one is making it compulsory on you to do. Because if you decide to be irresponsible, we would work on that lane with you. That's it. We are throwing an opportunity at you, and you are expecting us to wait. Who is meant to even bring something? Even the rubbish you can write it and even bring today. Yours, you already know you've given us something. Let's see what you can work with. You are saying 2 weeks. The 2 weeks when this is not interested in hearing what you have to say. Is that what you want? So for now, there are other people that are going to be working with the office, but I think everybody has my number. Yes or yes? You don't have my number, and I taught you 100 level. Your choice. So if you have the number or not, you might decide to send. I'm going to give an active email address, so you can send it to the email address. But before then, I would advise that before it comes to me, try and see Mr. Salau Ibrahim and Mr. Sholola, so they put you through. Then possibly to Mrs. Mohammed before it gets here. Am I communicating? So that's all about that.
الصلاة والسلام